feels good to be back. What's going on, guys? It's been a minute. I've been off YouTube taking a little R&R, even though I don't really know how to rest. I've been working really hard on the Too Many Records book while I've been away. It has been coming along awesomely, and I'm so excited to eventually show you guys, but still more work to do on that. Right now, it's cool that I came back this week because this is Record Store Day week. Well, week 1, that is. If you haven't already, it'd be awesome if you'd like this video, hit the red subscribe button, and turn your bell notifications on so you don't miss out on any weekly videos I put out. This year, Record Store Day is a little different, and I have some thoughts on it. I haven't really talked about it since the initial RSD video, where I did talk about it as if it was a regular Record Store Day, and then the world exploded. So now, what we have to deal with is RSD Drops. And the way I feel about RSD Drops is not super positive. I always want to respect the idea of supporting your local record store, but if it wasn't for that ideal, and maybe the feeling of wanting to return to some kind of normalcy, I probably wouldn't even go to Record Store Day this year. Something about the way that it's formatted now is just irking me a bit. Instead of the usual magical day where you get to hang out with meet fellow collectors in your area, stand in line for some or all of the night, talk about what you're excited to get, this has become a socially distanced kind of facade of what it used to be. I have contacted 4 of my local New York City record stores that I love going to, and I have not heard from any of them in response. I did not hear about if they're still participating. I didn't hear about what their protocol is, what the style of getting records is, whether it's a list system or a free-for-all. And the weirdest thing is that the list has been broken up into 3 separate lists of varying quality. Also worth noting is that some of the items have been moved to Record Store Day Black Friday, which I guess is still happening as is. There hasn't been a segmentation notice for that specific date. And some of the titles have been actually completely scrapped from the list, including the OF Tape Volume 2, a collection of odd future tracks that never made it to an album, a really solid compilation that I know a lot of people were excited to get. Totally gone. So my question for you is this: what are you planning to do for Record Store Day this year? What are you excited to get, and what is your local store doing? Drop a comment below, let the people of Too Many Records universe know exactly what's happening in your town, because it seems to be varying wildly town to town, and like I said, I don't even know what's happening in my own. For the first part of this 3-part list, it actually has the most items that I'm excited for, but like I said, none of them are must-haves, and I do feel like potentially these are things that I could grab at face value if I just stayed home. But I do want to support the local record store. I will hopefully be going. I won't be making a video there because the idea of making a video wearing a mask and having other people wearing masks just seems A, bad for sound, but B, just kind of an uncomfortable thing to watch. We're all living this. There's no need to really watch it on camera if you don't have to. I will happily show my haul on Instagram or something like that. I just want to know what your thoughts are, guys, because this is such an unprecedented thing, what happened to not just Record Store Day, but obviously the world. So let's chat about it in the comments. I'm curious to know your thoughts in comparison to what they were back when I made my first RSD video. That being said, here are the titles that I'm excited to hopefully pick up, whether it's in person or in store. Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, awesome early EP from the band. I really love Bone Thugs, and their early stuff is pretty fantastic. So this is something that's been out of print for a long time, and I'm pretty stoked that they're pressing. Then we got Denzel Curry's Bulls on Parade 7-inch. He did this phenomenal cover of Rage Against the Machine's Bulls on Parade, showing his versatility as a musician. Denzel is just so impressive album to album. He is definitely a name that you need to look out for if you're not already, and this 7-inch will be very at home with the rest of my 7-inches. Gorillaz G and D sides. So this is another one I'm pretty excited for. These are the B-sides from the Gorillaz self-titled and Demon Days. I am more into the B-sides from Demon Days. Both have their merit and both would fit happily in this collection alongside the first 3 Gorillaz albums, which, as you guys know, for me, are the only great Gorillaz albums. The ones after that did not hit well for me. I know some people disagree, but for me, they kind of lost some of that magic that made them special to begin with. The G and the D sides do capture that magic, so I am hoping to grab these. The Cure's Blood Flowers is getting released as a picture disc, and I think this is going to be one of the hotter ones of the year. I actually spoke to a store owner that I know down in Florida, and he's heard it and he says it sounds great, so I'm probably going to end up picking this up. Although if it's like the Cure's greatest hits and acoustic stuff that they did for Record Store Day a couple years back, it'll probably get a regular black pressing at some point. I'm also excited to hear Fucktronic, which is the Jimmy Urine of Mindless Self-Indulgence and Serge Tankian of System of a Down, combining their forces to make the score to a film that never existed, I think. It's a little electronic, it's probably a little edgy, it's probably intense and super catchy if I had to guess. I haven't heard this, but anything that Surge touches, I'm at least kind of interested in. And then there's two that I'm on the fence about. There's the Magic Numbers self-titled record, which is a really good indie pop record from the mid-2000s. I re-listened to it about 3 weeks ago. There are some very good tracks, and then there are some kind of tracks. I don't know if it's one of those impulse buys just because it's out of print and it's been on my want list on Discogs for a while, or if I'm actually going to spin it. I don't know. That might be a last-minute decision. And finally, there's various artists' Flow. Flow, I guess, is a combination of different artists that I really like. Olafur Arnolds, Keaton Henson. And I think they're reworks of Nils Frahm stuff. Or maybe Nils Frahm is reworking their stuff. I don't quite remember what it is, but all of these artists together is probably going to make some magic happen, and I think this will be one that I'll pick up if I happen to see it at my store. That is my take on Record Store Day 2020. It is a super strange thing. I'm glad that they're trying to do it. I just feel like separating the lists kind of takes away from the magic of lining up and having it be this ritual once a year, or twice a year if you count RSD Black Friday. I'm very curious how it pans out and what the collectors think after the fact, if it was a good idea, if it was kind of a flop. Either way, I will say this: if you can, go support your local record stores. They need us more than ever right now, and Record Store Day is a big way that they make their money every year. So support them if you can. Don't overpay for anything. In fact, I'm going to talk about that a little more this week, because I am going to give you guys 2 more videos this week. 2 more RSD videos talking about my favorite and least favorite things I've ever picked up as we lead up to Record Store Day Drop 1. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this. Make sure you're subscribed to Too Many Records, and I look forward to chatting with you guys in the comments. I'm back. Talk to you guys soon.